each life a faded, lesser copy of the one before. Wake up, eat, work, sleep, reproduce, and die.
The wait for Stranger Things Season 5 has officially begun, and already fans can't wait for it to be here. Seriously, they're already chomping at the bit, and the show isn't coming out until 2024. We got a while to wait, but what's more, it's been confirmed that the team isn't done writing the scripts for Season 5, and thus there are a lot of things up in the air in terms of what's going to fully happen, how many episodes there are going to be in the final season, and so on. The good news is that the Duffer Brothers make some things clear post Season 4 Volume 2, and that might be enough to keep us intrigued while we wait. Number 5. Setting things up different. While even the mighty Duffer Brothers don't have everything filled out in terms of the final scripts, as Ross Duffer told Collider that the writing staff was going to take a little vacation in July, and then we're going to come back. I know that the writer's room is going to start in the first week of August. Now that doesn't mean we don't have some insight into their current process. They do note that they ended things differently in Season 4 for a reason, and that difference will affect Season 5 massively. For the first time ever, we don't wrap things up at the end of Season 4, so it's going to be moving, Matt Duffer said. I don't know that it's going to be going 100 miles an hour at the start of 5, but it's going to be moving pretty fast. Characters are already going to be in action. They're already going to have a goal and a drive. And I think that's going to carve out at least a couple hours and make this season feel really different. Furthermore, while the full-on roadmap to the finale is a bit fuzzy, as it would be without the scripts written, the ending has never been in doubt. While a lot of Season 5 is actually pretty blurry, the last 30 minutes of it are pretty clear in our heads, he said. So if we can make the journey entertaining, I think that we have an end that will hopefully satisfy. You can't satisfy everyone, but the hope is that it's something that feels right for this story. Given how many series finales have disappointed fans as of late, that's actually something that is fair to note. Especially given how passionate the Stranger Things fan base is, they'll never be able to please everyone. But a majority? Well, that might be possible. In that same interview, Matt Duffer said the season will take place entirely in Hawkins, in contrast to the fourth season's trips to California and the USSR, and that the cast breakdown would resemble that of Season 1. We want to go back to a lot of the things we did in Season 1, he said. There's something nice about coming full circle. And that totally fits with what we do know about Season 5, such as how the Upside Down is now fully in Hawkins, so thus the blissfully unaware people of the town are now going to be forced to contend with what this group of teens and their allies have been dealing with for years now. Number 4. Number of episodes. Another big question that many fans are asking about is the episode count. Season 4 broke many molds, larger due to the pandemic, but not just by how long it is or the 2 volumes that they decided to release, but furthermore, the final episode of Season 4 was a straight-up movie of sorts that did a lot to the series, and to the fans that braved to watch it. The good news is that we're unlikely to get that same volume break for Season 5, as the pandemic hopefully won't surge again and cause more filming issues. However, that also means you're probably not going to get as long of a season episode-wise due to the content that will be had. The only reason we don't expect it to be as long is because if you look at it, it's almost a 2-hour ramp-up before our kids really get drawn into the supernatural mystery, Matt Duffer shared. You get to know them, you get to see them in their lives, what they're struggling with, adapting to high school and so forth. Steve's trying to find a date, all of that. None of that obviously is going to be occurring in the first 2 episodes of Season 5. Right, if anything, Episode 1 of Season 5 is going to be focused on showing the state of Hawkins and the Hawkins crew, trying to see how everyone is dealing with their new upside-down world. Their normal lives aren't going to apply to this season until maybe the very end when all of this monstrous mayhem is done with. Number 3. State of key characters. Given the sometimes ambiguous nature of the show, Stranger Things isn't above pulling a twist with key characters to help sell a moment, like when Bob showed up after his death to bring Joyce some peace in that moment. However, the state of certain other characters are a bit more clear. While speaking with Happy Sad Confused podcast host Joshua Horowitz, both Matt and Ross Duffer confirmed that Eddie Munson is definitively dead. Additionally, the pair confirmed that Dr. Brenner is definitively dead and detailed that while Max, Sadie Sink, survived her bout with Vecna, it left her brain dead, blind, and all of her bones are broken. Whether or not she will fully recuperate is something audiences will have to wait to find out. Though needless to say, that is a pretty big set of circumstances to come back from, and given that this is the 80s, the act of being brain dead is very much a kind of death sentence. But then again, with Eleven's powers and other twists likely to come, and given all that Max went through in this season, it would be a bit odd to just leave her like that and not give her the fair ending, or at least a full sacrifice to end her story.
There's a reason you hide from them.
As for Vecna, his state of affairs is a bit more, well, curious. They note in the show how he's not dead despite the assault on him from various planes of existence, but he's not 100% either, despite getting his whys. He's pissed. If you thought he wasn't pissed before, he's pissed now, actor Jamie Campbell Bower shared with Bloody Disgusting. Yeah, the vengeance. If it were me, on a personal level, if somebody did that to me, I'm coming for you. And there's little doubt he won't, because again, he got his wish, and the Upside Down is now in Hawkins, which means all sorts of chaos and darkness can now be rained down on those who tried to stop his plan from coming forth. Number 2, the military. Early in Season 4, we learned that there are 2 governmental factions with very different views on how to deal with Eleven and the threat of the Upside Down. One, spearheaded by Dr. Owens, Paul Reiser, and the late Dr. Brenner, thinks Eleven is their only chance at stopping the Upside Down. The other, led by Lieutenant Colonel Jack Sullivan, Sherman Augustus, thinks Eleven is the cause of all the chaos and must be destroyed. Sullivan and his forces attacked their rivals in the penultimate episode of Season 4, killing Brenner and taking Owens prisoner, but Eleven got away. Now that the Upside Down has come to the real world, it remains to be seen what the Army will do next, and whether or not they still view Eleven as a threat to be eliminated or an asset to use in the fight against the supernatural unknown. Number 1, the end. No matter what happens now, the fact remains that things will have to end in Season 5. It's the end, period. There will be no teases of the future outside of possible happy endings for certain characters, but even that is no guarantee. The first 4 seasons have been very much about preventing this very apocalypse from coming, and now it's here, and it has to be dealt with. There will need to be sacrifices, no doubt, to ensure that things go a certain way. But who will make those sacrifices? What other alliances need to be made in order to save Hawkins and the world? Or will Vecna and the Mind Flayer get to rule over their new kingdom? We have to wait until 2024 to find out. So, what do you think? What do you think of this look at Stranger Things Season 5 and what we currently know about it? Do you think that fans are going to go and dissect things that we do have explained until they come up with new theories about how it's all going to end? How do you think it should end for it all to be wrapped up nicely? Let us know in the comments below, and we will see you next time on the channel.